The show, Sushant Sareen, Senior Fellow with the ORF. Also joining us live from Washington, we have Ray Locker, journalist and author. Ray Locker, it's very interesting. Many have said that this is something which could either be a masterstroke or a spectacular blowback for the American economy. How do you see it going from here onwards? What are these certain areas of maneuverings which have still been kept open?
Well, I mean, you mentioned Section 4 of the executive order. It's a total shakedown by Donald Trump. What he's doing is saying, if you do other things that I like, I might give you a break on tariffs. They don't always even have to have anything to do with trade. It's do something I want you to do, and I might give you a break. So he's turning every country in the world into some kind of supplicant to come to him on bended knee and ask him for a favor. And he's been doing that so far throughout his early presidency. I'm going to do something, but, I'll change my mind if you give me what I want. And so this is what we have here. That's why it's creating so much international uncertainty with trade. And by the way, it's a tax increase on every American. $100 billion in new revenue. We pay that. I pay that every time I go to the store, every time I buy something. I pay extra because the materials used to make products have now become more expensive.
Well, Sushant Sareen, are you surprised? Because you just heard President Trump coming out and he said things like, India is a very, very tough nation. But my dear friend, Prime Minister Modi was here. He calls us a dear friend, a very close alliance partner of the United States. But barely any concessions which have been shown as of yet.
Look, I don't think, we should take all these encomiums that are heaped on the Prime Minister very seriously. This is also part of negotiating strategy. You try and be very friendly at one level, and then, at another level, you impose tariffs or whatever other restrictions you want to impose. That's part of the game. I think we are being very silly when, anything somebody says nice about us, we start, jumping up with joy that somebody has recognized us. So I don't take any of these honorifics seriously. But on the main issue, I think what we have to recognize is that I think the Ministry of Commerce also in its press release says that, look, there are going to be opportunities for us. The question, however, as an Indian, I have to ask myself is, are we in a position to scale up and step up to benefit from whatever opportunities are going to come our way because of certain tariffs much higher than what are being imposed on us, which are being imposed on certain countries which are competitor nations as far as India is concerned, whether it's on textiles, whether it's on other labor-intensive goods. Can we attract new investment into India to benefit from whatever tariffs are being imposed by Donald Trump? And how will the competitor countries respond to the tariffs that have been imposed on them? Will they bring down their tariffs vis-a-vis the US? I think that is something we need to watch out for. After all, the tariffs, for example, which have been imposed on Vietnam. Now, to expect that given the kind of wages that are there in the United States, that Nike shoes or any of the other sportswear which is being manufactured in large scale in Vietnam will shift to the US. It's not going to happen. It's just not worth the while of companies in the US to make those products.
Absolutely.
The US has moved up the value chain. Now, in some areas, for example, in EVs, they've been competitive till now because of Tesla and some of the other companies. But will they be able to maintain that advantage even on, having gone up the value chain? Will they be able to maintain that advantage if they follow the kind of policies they've been following? So if the objective of these tariffs is to bring back manufacturing to the United States, I'm not entirely sure if that's going to work out. As far as India